Tommy Dorfman is the founder and owner of RD Entertainment. He is the CEO of Juice Entertainment. He's been taking on Stand Up Nation, their monopoly, for over 15 years. Welcome to the show, Tommy.
Thanks for having me, George. Yeah, I've been battling Live Nation for 15 years. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, excited to have you on. Tell us a little about your personal life, more about your work, and why you do what you do.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I got two beautiful boys, Robbie D and Rylan D, and the reason I even battle Live Nation and continue that fight is thanks to them. Circling back, I was started off in life living on my own at a young age, around 16 years old. Always had a passion for music because my dad took me. My dad passed away when I was like 12, but he took me to tons of concerts. Lived on my own when I was 16, through house parties with like electronic house music DJs. They call it EDA now, EDM now, before it was cool. Um, and I'd pack these houses out just to pay my rent to get by. As throwing these parties and bringing hundreds of people and going to clubs in the city, like legendary ones, Tunnel, Limelight. Started doing guest lists there, getting paid like $1 a head to bring 200 people in. Then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna build a club empire. My family thought I was crazy. My friends thought I was crazy, but I was like, I'm gonna do it. So with a real lot of hard work over time, produced. I became and grew to producing my own parties and grew to one of the largest promoters in the East Coast in the house music world. For over 15 years with my team's hard work, working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. We ran almost every major club in New York, New Jersey, Miami, won major awards as the best sound system in the world. Did every major celebrity from Paris Hilton, the Kardashians, right when her first show, I think, for a couple $1,000. DJs like Tiesto, you name it. I grew to the top in my industry. I couldn't get any bigger. I plateaued. I achieved my goals. To get bigger, I needed to get into the festival business. And I saw that house music, which is now called EDM, was coming in 2010, it was going to blow up. It was going to blow through the roof. So I made a deal with the State Fair Meadowlands. That's the home of anybody not familiar, but in New Jersey, home of the Jets and the Giants. They're both not doing so good this year. It was a brand new $2 billion stadium. I signed a bit largest fair in the East Coast. I signed a 10-year exclusive deal to produce all festivals and all concerts at the State Fair Meadowlands. My kickoff was house music EDM because that was my background, that was my passion, and that's where I came from. My EDM festival, everything was in place. It was a turnkey operation. Um, we had all our talent set up. We had staging set up. Everything was going amazing. This was going to be the largest electronic dance festival in the East Coast. Then the company Live Nation Entertainment found out about it. I never knew who Live Nation was before because they were into rock and roll, not in my world. Um, they came in with a multi-prong attack and threatened to block all my talent, block all the ticketing. They had just had merged with Ticketmaster, which I didn't even know at the time. So the Meadowlands, you had to use Ticketmaster, so no ticket, no show. If I did not partner with them, they wanted to be partners in the festival because EDM music now is becoming the biggest thing since rock and roll. I refused their partnership. I will prove at trial that they blocked the talent, um, badmouth me to the powers that can be, to everyone, including the landlord of the Meadowlands, the Sports Authority, um, and basically came at me with a shotgun marriage. You either partner with us or you're out. And they wiped me out. I was wiped out of my career. They destroyed my reputation, and I'll prove it at trial. Was nominated the number one promoter at the time by New Jersey's largest paper, the Star Ledger, which is the largest state paper in the nation. My name was revoked because Live Nation wanted it to be, because they wanted to teach me a lesson, teach anyone a lesson that was going to stand up to them and deny a partnership with them. After that, I was wiped out of the whole industry, went homeless, lost my whole career, lost everything. I filed litigation against with them. I've been fighting them in federal court now for New Jersey federal court for 15 years now.
Whew. Sorry
That's a
about
short
that.
version.
Holy cow. And how are you able to earn an income and pay legal bills and all that?
Yeah, great question. So at first I had lost everything and I had no income. Was living in my car for a month. I had to get my first job because I was always worked for myself since I was 16 years old. So I had to get my first job and I was had a hard time getting a job because my resume was like this high with all the success, Charlie Sheen, Snoop Dogg, you name it. I got a job going door to door, knocking on people's doors for lead generation for Windows. Then I transformed and went to door for selling cable. And I've over the years, that's funded the litigation against Live Nation with 2,000 attorneys against me. I've one attorney, Andrew Smith, great attorney, really good, but he's one attorney. 2,000 paralegals. Going door to door selling cable has funded it. I opened a business, RD Enterprises, doing so, and that's funded the litigation. It's been challenging, but it's funded it for 15 years with working 7 days a week.
And how is it going?
15 years.
It's man.
Live Nation's winning. They have a strategy. Delay, delay, confuse, pressure, delay. I look at it, I can't even find a loss. I know I'm the longest lawsuit against Live Nation since they merged with Ticketmaster. I'm the longest, 15 years. Googling a lawsuit for tortious interference, anti-competitive behavior on the internet, I can't find one that's not on appeal, and my case is not on appeal. That's not on appeal. That's longer than my litigation. So my witnesses are getting old. We come from the club background. Some of them were not that young at the time. Some were legendary promoters. And we're don't usually a lot of them don't keep the best health with that background. So Live Nation's winning because I haven't got a jury date and my witnesses are getting old, and that's the only way Live Nation will beat me at trial.
And obviously, since you weren't interested in settling back then, you're not interested in settling now.
So, great question, George. In the beginning, this was an economic dispute for me. I have tape recordings of Live Nation executives confessing to everything I'm saying here and a lot more. I thought with that information, with suing Live Nation, their CEO would come in, apologize to me, give me some money to get back on my feet, and give me my festival back. That's all I wanted. As time passed, and some of the information that I've seen from Live Nation's internal documents, that I allege they run a illegal criminal enterprise and intend to prove a trial. After years and years and seeing this and seeing what they do to the fans and seeing how they killed the industry, now I continue this because this is my fight here is way bigger than me. This fight is now for all those fans that are ripped off every single day. And it's not just a United States problem, it's a worldwide problem. It's basically they're like COVID when it first came out. You can't get away from them. You can't get away from them anywhere in the world. So Live Nation is the COVID of the entertainment industry. And that's why I continue the fight though for the fans now and for the scene that I loved. For independent promoters, my one son, Robbie's 11. He wants to run parties, run festivals. Like looks at my walls, Dad, I want to do this. It looks cool. I said, can't do it with Live Nation now. Nobody's kids can. So for artists that are ripped off every single day, so I do it for the scene that I love, and really for the fans, and that's why I've continued this fight.
Wow. Well, I appreciate that. And I mean, what an experience that you've been on. What a long, strange trip. And I mean, from being on top of the world, probably considered that you were, and from on top of the industry. So by every available metric, you were experiencing enormous success to trying to have this massive company, this behemoth, crush you and you standing up to them. Give me sort of the highlights of how Live Nation is a bad actor.
Well, Live Nation and Ticketmaster, which is Live Nation, they own it. They own everything. So there's no entertainment industry anymore. It's just a Live Nation entertainment industry. They control everything. Artists have no choices who to play for. They have no choices even what arena to play in, how much to charge for a ticket. If Live Nation tells you to do this, you do it, or no show for you. You're out. independent promoters, most all of them have been wiped out since I was wiped out, or acquired or hired, as their CEO Michael Rapino had said back in the day. So they've wiped out the whole independent promoters in the scene. They have it's just one major monopoly. It's one company, one power, more powerful than the mafia. It's like a mob-run community. They control everything that happens. They control the ticket prices. They control the artists. There's no artist development because of them. And the fans that have to pay $1,000 a ticket. That's why I fight for this. Like music is like a basic to me, like a basic right. Like go social gathering. It's like from ancient civilizations, our ancestors. And they're taking that right away from people. And they make people have to make a choice to pay $1,000 to go to a show to see their favorite artist, bring their kid that wants to go, and miss their electric bills, miss a mortgage payment, miss rent. And that's what Live Nation's done. They've monopolized the whole entire industry. They control, and I allege they do it illegally, through the legal criminal rebate scheme in the billions of dollars that it uh, costs fans every single day. But that I tend to prove a trial.
And I certainly look forward to that, and I hope that you do. There are fewer things that I think are grosser than looking at, and I always attribute it to the artists, and it's the Taylor Swift's of the world and the Beyonce's of the world that charge teenagers $1,000. I'm like, what in the world? Like, why are they doing that? But you're suggesting that maybe it's not totally up to them.
I don't blame the artists at all. From the internal Live Nation information that I've seen, Live Nation um, inflates the cost of what a concert should cost in return for the venue, like the MetLife Stadium, to kick them back money that only goes in Live Nation's pockets.
Hmm.
Now the artists many times have almost sold out shows from thousands of shows that I've seen and in information I've seen, and they're barely making any money. So if you're the artist, what do? I'm raising my ticket price. I don't blame them. The artist can't stand up. People say too, the artist should stand up against them. Why are artists not supporting you? I don't blame them either. If you stand up against me, you're wiped out. Pearl Jam, I think, tried like in the 90s before even Live Nation and Ticketmaster had merged, and they were almost wiped out from just Ticketmaster. So it's not the artists, it's Live Nation, and Live Nation controls the artists. The artists have no say. The Live Nation, the artists are basically in captivity of Live Nation, so it's not their fault.
You got a nice band here. It'd be a real shame if something happened to it there, Eddie Vedder. Huh. Okay. Do you see what popped into my head was Oliver Anthony just kind of becoming famous on YouTube? Do you see a path around these guys? You're obviously working through the available channels through our legal system to break this monopoly up or to at least change the practices. Do you see ways around?
Unfortunately, there is no way around. There is no way around because they either own the arena, control the arena. There's not one worldwide tour, just when you asked about the bad acting, there's not one worldwide tour that do not use Live Nation or Ticketmaster
Wow.
in the world. Um, their CEO recently just came out on live TV. The Department of Justice is suing them. I'm suing them. The FTC is now suing them. And he comes out on live TV and says ticket prices are too low. We need to raise them. It shows you how much power that they have. There's no way, so there's nothing you can do except my mom told me back in the day, like a couple of years ago, drop the case, take their money and protest them. I said, Mom, how can I just protest them? She said, don't go to a show. I said, awesome. So my kids can't go to a Jets game, Patriots game, Disney on Ice, concert. They're locked out of whole entire society. So the only thing you really can do is fight them through the legal channels. I am opening a website called shutdownlivenation.com where people vote. You know what? And this issue is a bipartisan issue. I don't know, there's nothing bipartisan in the United States now. And even the politicians, most of it's bipartisan. Um, Live Nation doesn't discriminate. You know, you can be from you can be Jewish, you can be Arab, you can be black, you can be gay, you can be from KKK. They'll still rip you off. So this issue affects everyone. But what people can do. As my mom realizes, all right, you can't protest them. There's no way you can just protest and walk away like that and continue your fight. I respect it. But what you can do is you can protest to your legislatures, senators, congressmen. And my site that I'm opening up, shutdownlivenation.com, that's in the works right now, is heavily focused in doing so. And it's going to set up also organized protests, demanding Live Nation to lower ticket prices and demanding our government to act to shut down what I allege is criminal enterprise. In any democracy across the world, um, this is a worldwide problem. That's my recommendation. Your voice can be heard. You vote. If you're in a democracy and you vote, you can vote these people out. Live Nation has a lot of lobby money, but your votes are worth way more powerful than that lobby money.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, and if you start motivating, inspiring, getting people to write in or make phone calls to the elected officials, that will without question have an impact. You probably know this, but it was my understanding that the definition of a monopoly is controlling like 40% of an industry. And if they're controlling every single major arena, is the argument that there's a ton of smaller arenas that they don't necessarily have control over?
They control the amphitheaters
They got
and the
everything.
smaller clubs they've wiped out because if you pay $1,000 for a show, can you really afford to go out to a nightclub the next night? I
Yeah, no, certainly not.
think it speaks for itself.
Yeah. Wow. Hmm. Wild. And I mean, it certainly makes sense why I'm sure that there have been people that have tried to stand up and probably people still, but that you've been at this for 15 years is extraordinary. Um, and you're probably not able to get a ton of mainstream media covering this because why would they do that? That would probably be against their interests.
Yeah, I was recently just on the cover of the like NJ.com out in New Jersey, but in the entertainment world, if you're writing about entertainment, I guess that speaks for itself. There's only one entertainment, so But I have been getting a lot recently. I have been getting a good amount of coverage, and it's been spreading, and a lot of independents are now coming to me and speaking to me behind the scenes. They won't speak vocally. And they're saying like, yo, we're supporting you. Yo, keep it going. I have artists coming to me behind the scenes too. I won't say their names because I've never ruined their careers. Organizations, and they're like, wow, we love what you're doing. We love what you're doing. Thank you so much. So it's starting to resonate and it's starting to I can feel some momentum that's really started to kick in.
Nice. Are you consistently in hearings? Is it just that they're asking for delays and
Live Nation just delays. Put it this way, Discovery, when the case first started, they were ordered by a federal judge, Judge Mannion, to turn over documents within 30 days. We went about like 3, 4 years fighting them every single week. Um, my lawyer finally sent a letter into the court saying we know that the plaintiffs like we're not their welcome, but like we're entitled to this information. We only got 5% of the discovery we're entitled to. After 4 years, we didn't have money anymore. I didn't have even enough money that I had to just throw in the towel on the discovery. So all they've been doing is just delaying it through every possible way, asking for the 15th mediation last year. I respect the courts, but they just delay, pressure, confuse, and really delay. Look, it's 15 years. There's no reason I shouldn't have been. My lawyers thought originally I would have been in trial in a year and a half, tops. Year to year and a half tops, I would have been in front of a jury.
15 years later, here we are. Wow. Well, thank you for fighting the good fight. Um, is there a perfect demographic of people you think that's going to resonate? So I'm 47. I'm a Gen X guy and I certainly love live music and I can remember, Napster and all that stuff and all the different changes that have happened. And now I find myself with three young kids being pretty grossed out by the price of games and tickets and everything else. Is it me that you're hoping to catalyze? People like me who can start reaching out to the politicians, and obviously you'll welcome anybody, but who is the perfect avatar that you're hoping to reach?
I think it's everyone because, like I said, Live Nation doesn't discriminate you against you. You're rich, you're poor, you're from the city, you're from the suburbs. It doesn't matter. They rip everybody off, and everybody, except maybe the ones that are they're lobbyists that they're giving free tickets to the show, or they're high-end investors that they're giving free tickets. Besides that, they rip everybody off, and everybody knows it. So to me, it's anyone. And I know people, look, most people are just living paycheck to paycheck to survive. So that's why I haven't asked for massive like protests and this and you name it. But I recently had a hearing in Newark Federal Court. It was in November, and a lot of protesters actually showed up to the hearing. They came in with justice for Tommy D, lower ticket prices signs. That's something I'm gonna be one of my big major messages. Lower ticket prices. You know what? If you go to a stadium, start a chant. Make it like the Mexican wave. Lower ticket prices, lower ticket prices. You know, their CEO of their company, Michael Rapino, says he wants to raise them.
Hmm.
I'd love to see him go to a stadium in the United States or anywhere in the world and get on the stage on a microphone and say, who wants me to raise ticket prices? I don't think it's going to end up so good, you know? So lower ticket prices. That's it. Keep it simple. Lower ticket prices, get the chant going in the stadiums, get the chant going in the bars. You said everything goes social and viral. Get it going. Get it going in your local bar. Boom, put it on Instagram, put it on TikTok. If you're older, put it on Facebook. Get it going, spread the word. Force your politicians to do action.
I love it. What was the website again? Fuck Live Nation.
I should have called it that. I've shutdownlivenation.com, and then my other website is tommydjuiceentertainment.com. But I do like the fucklivenation.com better.
Got a nice ring to it, does it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The balls on that Rapino guy. What we need to do is increase ticket prices. Do we? Is that what we need to do, sir?
And that's
Unbelievable.
that's that's facing potential criminal charges, multiple civil ones. I'm from New Jersey. John Gotti wouldn't have the balls to do that with the Department of Justice and the FTC coming down against him. That's how much power he has. That's
Yeah,
how much power they have.
unbelievable. Well, Tommy, thank you for coming on. Thank you for doing everything that you have done and everything that you are doing and will continue to do. Give us the websites again. Let us know how we can support you, please.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me on. It's much appreciated. Um, you can support me at shutdownlivenation.com. That's a new site that I'm just launching, which we're going to be calling for lower ticket prices. And we're going to be calling for protests at clubs, bars, and even in the stadiums and arenas. Get it going when there's no music on. Start chanting lower ticket prices. Demand Live Nation to do it. You look, Michael Rapino, their CEO. Like he's the evil villain right now. He came in, dropped ticket prices 30, 40%. Come on, be Superman, man. You'll still be rich, and your company will still be rich. You can also support me at TommyDJuiceEntertainment.com. That's my website about my case, my story. But this is a way bigger issue than me. This is an issue that affects the whole public, affects all the fans, affects the whole ecosystem of the industry, and it really, Live Nation has to be stopped.
Amen. If you enjoyed this as much as I did, show Tommy your appreciation. Share today's show with a friend who also appreciates good ideas. Go to shutdownlivenation.com and take part in this movement to lower ticket prices and maybe even shut down Live Nations. Go to TommyDJuiceEntertainment.com and learn more about what Tommy has been up to and what he's doing and how you can get involved. It will not take a lot of effort, just a small effort on your part. And collectively, if we all do that, that's what will make all the difference. And the next time you are at your local watering hole, concert, stadium, whatever, start the lower ticket prices chant and record it and throw it up on social media. Thanks again, Tommy.
Thank you very much.
Till next time, remember, do your part by doing your best.